lance l'audio. Okay, let's do this. Okay, it seems to be working, hopefully. So today I won't be the only one with a thick French accent for once. I am joined by two fellow Rolistes from France, and we're gonna talk about a bunch of things, including the very exciting incoming CyberConf. But first thing first, Sollypsys and Axel, could you introduce yourself, please?
Si tu veux, dans le
Je sais pas
genre.
où c'est. Je sais
Bah
pas où
voilà,
c'est.
c'est à 60 bornes de Poitiers, c'est paumé dans le centre de la France.
Okay,
Ah ouais.
okay. I think it's working after all these good words about Maubeuge and Poitiers. So
And Poitiers, yes.
we are back, and according to the bars moving in front of me, it is working. Oh, can you speak again, Axel? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I can. I
Yeah.
can totally speak.
Okay, it's awesome.
There is sound. Bless. Let's do this.
Yeah, du son. Okay, great. So, how are we gonna do that? So yeah, let's do this. Axel, tell us how it started, CyberConf, and in the meantime, I will
Yeah.
double check if the recording of the beginning worked to see if we need to redo introductions and a bit.
Okay.
It's a very professional
Well,
operation. I was saying, one of the things I was saying offline was how impressed I am with the organizers of CyberConf. They are way more professional than I am, and they work in much better conditions than I do. So, but Axel, the microphone is yours.
Okay, it's quite a luck actually, because it's a bunch of random people coming together. We are not a formal group which choose to organize that. It was so I started by saying it was Discord Twitter who launched it all. Some Zitterman reacted to it because they proposed to upgrade their bitrate in terms of audio and video, and it was like, man, it's cool. Trolling. Are we doing a convention, an online conf? And I was like, man, I'm so out right now. Let's propose it to Mathieu B and C'est pas du JDR, which is a Discord server. And we didn't have even have the time to put it there because Willox, Gaël Sacré, arrived and said, I got a server. It's called CyberConf. Let's do this. We launched it, and it was just all started and 2 weeks ago. So we said, end of March we're doing. The first date was this weekend, but we postponed it because we found it to be quite short to organize everything.
Cool.
And,
So you mentioned
that's the
Samuel.
beginning. So
Is it Zitter?
we choose 3, 4, 5 of April, and we rolled with it.
Come on. I got my sound off from Twitter. So I was saying it's very impressive because at first I thought it would be something like other events, which is mainly a hashtag, and you go in between different streamers, and maybe there are a few games organized, but that's it. No, you created a Twitch channel, you're creating templates, everybody is gonna stream in a similar format. You are organizing all the panels, you're organizing games, but also there will be stands, and you got people getting in touch with the press to spread the word. I mean, that's a huge operation.
Mm.
So I was checking the audio. So could you just briefly introduce yourself, each of you, again, because it was lost to the gods of IT technology. Sollypsys.
Okay, so let's go again, and I will do something much better than the first time. So I'm Sollypsys. I'm a French TTRPG author. I work with someone named Erel. We do a lot of different games, like tabletop games, TTRPG games, and other kind of stuff. that's it for me. So first time.
Okay, so for myself, I'm Axel. I'm a protection officer in a little company in France. I'm currently working from home, so I have much time to enjoy TTRPG, and I don't create much. I've got a game somewhere, but it's far from finished and or pleasant to me. And other or I usually translate some stuff. I translated Session Zero the last time. It's a cool and little game about introducing your character, and it works pretty well. So I'm also on the several streams. Players on I'm a player on some streams quite often, and I stream and play on Lacal, which is a group of crazy friends on Twitch. That's all for me. On t'entend pas, Kaloum. Kaloum?
We can't hear you.
Okay, yeah. Today's the day. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Yeah, a lot of people's been describing how they got time to watch Netflix, to check on stuff, to read their favorite tabletop RPG. When you are a parent and your wife works from home, which is we're very lucky to have that. I mean, in terms of income, it's much better, but it's still a tiring endeavor. So yeah, so CyberConf is happening because of COVID-19. How did things sort of unraveled on your side in France? I mean, not the specific of, well, not the public health issue, but when did the clubs started stopped meeting and this sort of things, or how did you live through that so far?
That's a good question. Solipsys, do you have a date in mind? I have to
Um,
say
I mean, I
it's
must
lost
say
in
at the
time
same
for me.
time, time is a bit difficult. I mean, how much time ago? It doesn't need to be a date. I'm just curious. And to
Mm.
be honest, saying that, I think we've been in self isolation here. Not everyone in London, but me and my wife, because she's working from home and unemployed for 3 weeks now. And to be honest, in my memories, it's all compressed and it's very difficult to tell how long ago it was. I'm just curious
Mm-mm.
about your experience because well, obviously people watching this are going through this themselves, so find it's interesting to see
yeah,
how different or similar that might have been.
yeah. I understand. So I will speak as a dad, not as a person, just as a dad. I have two wonderful children, and just if I remember correctly, it was maybe like 1 or 2. I say 2 weeks ago. Uh, uh, the the professor of my daughter just said to me, so she can't go to school anymore because we are closed. And after that, it was like a kind of like in a cartoon. Everything just go on and on and on and faster and faster and faster. The for the few days, the few first days, this was very cool. I have time to chill with my children, with my wife. This was okay, but after that, the children just going to act like crazy. They can go outside as they want. They can do what they want. So it's kind of hard when you have to just um how can I say that? I will say endure, but this is not the right term. But you have to just go through that with your family. Just make sure everyone is happy. Everyone just get what they can have, not what they want, because we can do what we want. This is some kind of crazy, as I can say, kind of crazy stuff. We can just go outside as much as they want. Uh, I'm the type of lonely guy. I just enjoy being in my room, just being at my home. The only thing I don't want, I Hmm. I love to choose if I go outside or not, and now I can have that choice, and this driving me crazy.
Yeah,
To be
it's
honest, my children are crazy about that too, so it's kind of hard, but we do everything we can just to stay together, just calling some friends, hanging on Discord, whatever we can do, we do.
I mean, it's about control.
Mm,
The two aspects, and we've seen a lot of that. I guess in France also, a lot of people went out the last weekend because they felt like it was irresponsible. But I think a lot of people had that urge to go out, although maybe on a regular weekend they would not have. Not, I mean, some public parks here and natural settings. A place called Snowdonia in the UK. They had a record-breaking weekend. It was like it would be a weekend, which is a long weekend, but although it was not, just because the people were told you shouldn't be going out, and because of the stupidity of human beings, they all went out to those places. Everywhere was packed, and I think there's also the aspect of there's a lot of talk about you're introvert or extrovert. Well, for extrovert, it's difficult. We cannot go out and meet people and have meaningful exchanges with them. As an introvert, I imagine my son is making a proper mess behind me. Uh, as an introvert, I imagine you're locked inside. But if you're in a family, you cannot have your own space because you need to share that limited space with the rest of the family. Axel, what was your own experience?
Well, it was quite sudden. I had I had to go out on a Wednesday because I had to take an exam. I don't know the word for exam. An exam, and
A test,
I went
yeah,
home.
an
A
exam.
test, a test. Yes, I went home, and it was like over. I couldn't go out anymore. I couldn't see my family because I'm quite far from them, and it was like loneliness in a minute. And I'm not a big extrovert. I don't like to go out. I don't even like my city. But it's, yeah, you're right, it's about control. I want to go out if I want to go out, and it's the hardest part. But I'm quite ashamed by French people and their demeanor. I don't think they realize what's going on. I don't think they realize the danger they are putting people in, and the what the else people are doing for us. I'm coming from this world. I was a nurse back then, and it's hurting. And I see my friends working, and I see them having much trouble. I have one friend who is sick, and it's quite maddening to see people going out, taking a drink, taking a walk, and you're like, man, it's quite so irresponsible. You're so selfish, and I think it's quite a problem, and that's also why CyberConf came in from. Why CyberConf came in. It's refreshing to see people actually enjoying each other through internet without putting people in danger, and I think it's quite wonderful to have achieved that in so little time.
It's really impressive how not just in France but worldwide. Really, I see several of these online conventions taking place and a lot of people offering online games. I mean, actually, I need to fetch a word, but I know this CouchCon taking place in the US, and recently I got contacted for another convention in the US, and I had to say I was not able to. Yeah, so it's if you want to check it out, Crowd Control Tabletop Gaming Digital Expo, which will be taking place in English, but on the same weekend as CyberConf. So and CyberConf got me first, so I'm very high on demand. That's what I'm saying as well. People. But how many people, roughly is that CyberConf? Because the team seems so huge. I eavesdropped on um, audio meeting on Discord when I did not intervene. I was just in the corner listening as I was cooking, but people discussing about the communication, the organization, the Twitch, or people. Because, yeah, as an example, I'm running a panel. So I found my guest, and initially I thought I would stream it on the RPG Academy Twitch stream. Then I was told, no, we got our own Twitch channel for CyberCon. So okay, all right. Then and usually it's a struggle for me to find someone to do the hosting engineering in the background. That's why my internet connection is so bad today, because usually my brother takes that care of that from Paris. So I was about to try to find someone to help me with that, and then no, 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 we're taking care of all of that. We're bringing you a moderator. We're bringing you someone who will take care of the hosting, not just one person but two persons. So you got redundancy. So I think there's something like 8, maybe 10 panels. There's so many people. Yeah, tell us about the team. What is it like? Solipsys?
Go on, Sollypsys.
Well, that's right. We got a huge team, and when I say huge team, it's not in the numbers, but in skills. We got some people that are very talented in every kind of aspect of the convention and organization. Just to name a few: Samuel Zitterman, Axel here, Willox, Gail Sacré. We have Michaelis, Mathieu B. A lot of good people. Just they know what they do and they do it right. With this kind of person, we can do whatever we want. Yes, we have just started about 2 weeks ago to really getting together everything and just prepare everything for whatever happens. Um, we have a lot of moderator in we're just waiting to start. We have some person who just run the communication, just acting on the social media. What what can I could just spend 1 2 hours just to explain to you how the team is great and how she work hard. We work hard every day just to flesh out this convention and offer the best experience for everyone. We put in like 200, 300, 1000% of ourselves just to flesh this out for everyone. This is what I have to say. The staff is great, the team is great. We're just doing a wonderful work, and we just really start to move to move the machine. Really, we this is just the beginning for us. We we try our best, and we will try it until the end of the convention. Be sure about that.
I was wondering, seeing you. I mean, again, I'm very impressed by how organized it looks. But was there a core team of people who were already used working together on the project or a specific stream, or did people just, yeah? Is it just a what do you call that, a yeah, a little tiny miracle which took place?
It's quite a tiny miracle. I think I knew some people. I never worked with them like a team, and yes, I am very surprised myself about how we clicked, how it ran so well in so little time. I don't remember having a problem with anyone, even though we are very, very, very different and very complementary. No, it's a miracle, and I'm talking for me. I don't know if Solipsys agrees. I didn't think we'd have so much people coming in. I thought we'd have 100, 200, max 300 people. At the moment, I checked just before we start talking. There are more than 800 people on the Discord server.
Wow.
And the team is not huge for 800 people of 800 of people of persons. Sorry, we are I think we are 20 at the very maximum. Counting the whole staff and the whole moderators and everyone, and yes, it's impressive. I think we are doing just fine, and I think CyberConf will be a huge hit. It is already a huge hit for me. It has given me so much things to think about will really how people can work together, or we create something from scratch, from nothing, from zero. It's a huge boost for me, and it's a huge. I think I do enjoy very much the time I spend on it regarding the situation.
We even have people from French Canada, from Quebec, joining
Yes.
as
Yes,
streamers.
we
There will
have.
be the I don't know what to call that in English, Radio Libre, which is sort of a reference to World War II.
Mm.
Streaming from streaming broadcasting from the BBC here in London. But yeah, there's even minutes of meetings and all this kind of thing. I was wondering, of course, there's CyberConf, but there's also the wider tabletop RPG community. And I mean, what we're living through is, I mean, this is a historic moment. We never been through something similar with the same tools in the same conditions as a planet, as a civilization as we're doing right now. But more specifically, I really wonder about the long-term consequences, which hopefully will be positive for the tabletop RPG community. It feels like we were aware of one another in different corners, and we would interact, we would have our streams of parallel, but because now we're playing games online, and we have events like CyberConf that we are coming together like we never did before, and we would probably never have in other circumstances. Yeah, how do you feel about that? How do you see the tabletop RPG community moving forward? Solipsis?
Mm. I hope, really, I hope that the crisis we just are on now um, just add something to our patient, what we can do about TTRPG. This will be cool, I think, really cool, if we just keep the train going. Just okay, we do one cyberconf. Okay, this was cool. So we can go out like like forever. We have to do so. Why just why just give people another cyberconf? Why not? Maybe we can just um, add something to our work playing schedules, as I say. Maybe just be a little bit more open-minded about playing online, or just having some events online to gather people again. I don't think. I hope this will be not the only time that we can do a cyberconf. Maybe uh, 2 months, 3 months, 5 or 10 or whatever, we can do another cyberconf, but with the same population. Just keep it on going. Like, okay, this was a cool idea, so let's keep going with that. I hope so, and I really hope that people can just keep. How can I say that? Um, just keep going with playing online with friends. We can still do that. Of course, we can in a few times just gather around the table, play like every time, and maybe just maybe this crisis can give us what we want and what we need, like expand the community and maybe just put all players together. This will be cool.
Yeah, I find that,
Yeah.
for instance, online role playing, there were a lot of people who would not even try online role playing, even if they were in a city or place where uh, role playing around a table was not an option because it was too difficult, or I would know also people who move abroad and they stop playing with one another because again they had this kind of negative bias regarding playing online, that it was not as good as playing around the table, and maybe it's not. My personal view is that it's different, but yeah, hopefully they will keep on playing together. So Axel, you were already used to playing online before you were doing streams and so on.
Yes, yes, because I think like multiplayer, I started playing online like several years earlier, and I think it was because my offline friends just went really all far away, so I started searching for RPG online, and I agree with you. I don't think it's better or worse. I think it's really different. I have a different experience online and offline, and sometimes I'm sometimes I think it's really not that bad. It's even very 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 good, and it allows me to meet so much different people. I have played with some people I would never have met without it. I would never have met Zitterman without that, and I think he's a friend. I would never have gone to Octagon, which is a French role-playing game convention, which takes place in October, and meet friends I actually met online. I hope, like Sollypsys, it will last. I hope it's not one shot to take to take the word. I hope it will be like a long campaign, a campaign that which never really ends. I hope some other people will take the initiative and take it from here and change it and spend and share it with everyone. Really.
I think that the thing also which is sometimes missed by people is that these these things are not in competition. It sort of remind me when I was a student in architecture. We would have teachers having these, or even students having these arguments about, oh, you're drawing on computer. No, the real thing is drawing by hand, and it never was a debate really. I mean, in practice, because it's just two completely different things which complement each other. They got different benefits, and I think it really complement each other. I'm saying that because I interviewed Critical Role fans at a convention here in London. Side note, it's a bit of a tearjerker right now because the convention hall where MCM London Comic Con took place is now being turned in the Florence Nightingale Hospital. So they're turning this big convention center into a temporary hospital, and it's really mind blowing to see that happening. Anyway, sorry, that was a side note, but what I saw there at that convention is a lot of Critical Role fans who interacted a lot online, and they were meeting each other's for the first time, and that was a lovely moment. A lot of friendships taking a new step. So I can really imagine the people doing cyberconf meeting again at Octagon or another convention, and you know it had a dimension of these friendships you started online, and they take a new dimension when you meet in person, and then they go on online. It's an ongoing thing. It can be very very moving.
Yes. Yes, I do agree. It was wonderful to meet people from Lacal. From I talked to you about them, and it was really, yes, it was wonderful. We spent 48 hours together. It was like, okay, we have talked more than 100 hours online. Let's meet. Let's all meet. Let's do a huge online, huge offline event, and we streamed it, and for more than 24 hours running, and it was so good to share a drink, share a meal, talk, play some games, roll some dices. It was, yeah. I think even if 10% of the people of the CyberConf do this, it will be a huge win to say the least.
Sollypsys, did you have?
I totally
Yeah.
agree. Yes. I totally agree with Axel. This will be fantastic if just a few of the 800 that are currently on the Discord server just decide to, oh, okay, let's go, let's grab a drink together, just let's talk again, let's continue to share some thoughts and just go on with that. I really hope that people just stop stop this war about, oh, I think TTRPG have to be played around the table. No, you have to play online. This is total nonsense. We just love to play TTRPG online or in same place. We don't care. We just do what we want. We just do what we love. So for God's sake, for one more time, just quit it up. Just say stop. Okay, we love the same thing. Okay, you love to play online. I love to play with some friends, with some snacks or whatever. Just get together for one time. We have to come together, everyone. We can't do what we want. So just do something we can do together. Um, I'm the kind of person who love playing with friends, with snacks or whatever. I don't really play online. It, it's really new for me. I just maybe start a month ago, to be honest, and I quite enjoy it. This is very cool. You just discover some new person you don't know, and something just go on. We are bonding with the game, and this is kind of crazy. A few years prior, we can't do that. I remember TTRPG clubs or whatever, and everyone just keep they really keeping secrets. I don't want to play with you, so I'm gonna play with whatever. And with the blooming of TTRPG online, this is crazy. This is the real renewal of the TTRPG community. We have to stop right now just saying I do better than you or whatever. Just play together. This is the real thing that we have to keep in mind now. We have to play together and just put everything aside.
Have you played? Have you played any? Yeah. What games have you played recently to join into go into something a bit less broad and grand as or ambition for the community? Are there? Did you have any especially interesting online games recently, Axel?
Yes. Yesterday we played The Billet d'Acier, which is a game about teenagers, mechas, and dramas. It's been created by Vivien Féasson, who wrote Libreté, which has been translated to English quite recently, if I don't say anything stupid.
You're
It's
right, and
really
I was trying to have Vivian actually for a role present about translation of role playing games.
is wonderful. I have had the chance to play with him online. He's quite amazing. I really love his works, and yeah, I'm playing the Billet d'Acier. It's quite amazing how you feel playing it. I'm the MD for this party, but they're really clicking it. We just had a one shot like a month ago, and we just didn't have enough. So that's why we began this burst yesterday, so we could continue enjoying it.
Cool. What about you?
And you,
Cool. What about you,
Sollypsys?
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me, Kalum.
The tonight I will go on with Legend of the Five Rings.
Ooh, nice.
I
Yes,
met
good game.
yes. I met a wonderful game master, Yukiko. You know it, Axel. as, as if I remember correctly. This is kind of crazy RPG I love. We played like a young samurai to who try to wipe out corruption on the earth. This is very cool. My character died last time, so I have to make another one, but it's okay. This is the only RPG I have played since, like, I will say 1 month maybe. So this is kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I spend my time just making games and dice, so I don't really have time to play. Sorry.
I am on the other way around. I have to say, I really play very much at the time. I have like more than three games a week, and yeah, yes, but I can't create this way, so I think I will lower my expectations. But so much amazing. People ask me like, "Wow, can we play a game? We are like all home. We are doing nothing, so let's play." And I'm like, yes, let's play. But I'm like, oh yes, I have to work too. I have to create things which doesn't go further. But yeah, it's amazing. There is a real fever. I think there is a real fever. The containment has given the people, even people not used to play online, this will of to have fun. We need to have fun in some way. We are so bored, I think, not going out, not talking to people outside, that we need something cool, and the virtual TTRPG is quite cool for that.
One question I often ask on the regular Show the Race podcast when I run into people from different countries is to recommend a tabletop role-playing game from their own country. So in your case, a French role-playing game. But I'm gonna go even further. What French tabletop role-playing game you find especially interesting and you would be willing to master online in English for listeners who would like to try it?
Okay.
It's not a real commitment. Let's just say it's a scenario.
Yes. Mm, it's quite funny. I've been willing to try to master to play a game in English. I think I can't really go for 3-4 straight hours of speaking English, but I'm gonna go with Liberté Vivien. If you hear me, it's really wonderful. I'd like to try to pass on the feelings, the real feelings I have for this game in English. And sometimes I find myself like, oh, it would be so cool in English. Yes, there are so much badass talks and expression. I'm like, yes, it would be so much fun. So I would go with Liberté.
There's some stuff which I find work better in English. Like when I run Star
Yeah.
Trek, it's not quite the
Oh
same running
yes,
it in French like engagé. I
Star
don't even.
Wars.
Engage.
Yes,
I understand you. You're right.
like Star Wars. I have a bad feeling about this. It's really much cooler in English, and sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
You're freaking
French is.
right. This is
Uh,
okay.
You
You're
know
right. You're
what?
right.
I disagree on that because I realized that with my brother somewhat recently, especially with the new movie coming out and us seeing them in English being exposed more than them versus the original Star Wars which we saw in French. We realized that I got a bad feeling about this. It's really, personally, I find it very on the nose that it keeps coming back in English, and I realize in French they did not translate it exactly the same each time. So the idea is there, but it's not a literal repetition of the same sentence over and over. And I've recently realized that the French dubbing of Star Wars, I kind of like it. Just throwing
mm,
that there. But you
yes.
mentioned Liberté, but you did not explain what is Liberté.
Liberté,
What's the
talked to you
title?
about
What does that mean, Liberté, to start with?
uh, Libreté, it's I talked to you about the Billet d'Acier. It's the base setting of the Billet d'Acier. You play children who are lost in a world where there are no more adult people, and I think alors you play in a base and you have to basically survive, and there are monsters which called I don't know the word in English. C'est les sirènes de l'averse. I don't know how they translated because it was a question for Vivian actually, and
There's a lot of
there are
poetic expressions from what I
yes
gather in Libreté, so translating it into
yes
the slightly more technical oriented English, that was kind of a challenge, I guess.
it was a big challenge, and I saw him ask it online how people felt about it, and it's about drama, it's about children, it's quite like a majesty of the je ne sais plus comment les mouches. I don't know how to say mouche,
Lord of
but
the
there are
it's Lord of the
flies.
Flies.
The Lord of the Flies. It's quite this feeling in the game. Um,
It's
and
nice
yeah,
that
it's
it
really
changes us our mind. It's a post-apocalyptic world, mostly with younger people, well, strictly with younger people, because all the older individual died of an unknown reason. So it's very different from our current situation. That's great.
yes, yes.
Solipsys, you had a lot of time to think about your answer, so
My answer is quite simple. I will like to just drop a session of Catharsis. This is a game my co-author Erel just writing. I brought to her the game system and the game mechanics. This is a non-violent game. You can't fight in this game. Everything just is resolved by speaking or thinking or just working together. uh, this is a kind of game where you just hear a good story, you are in the story, and you do whatever you want. This is a kind of cool games. You can just have fun, speak with friends, and you have to decipher some enigmas and everything, and this kind of stuff to get to the conclusion where when you have a moral dilemma to speak about with all the players. This will be very fun. This is a kind of crazy games where everything just work on words and only words. You don't have any dice to play. In fact, to explain a few the game mechanics, if someone just make you laugh, um, make something you think is cool or whatever, you give him a token, and with this token, he can do one action that he will complete it every time he drop a token. So this is some kind of communitary games. Just, oh, you make me laugh, so take one of my token. Okay, with that token, I will do that spell. And this is the kind of things we just want to work with Catharsis. So this will be very cool to see to see other people just try it out and see if they can have fun with this game.
cool. Sounds awesome. I think it's gonna be it for today because yeah, I need to take care of my son who's preventing my
I
wife from
understand.
working in good
Yes.
conditions. Do you have any else to plug or to say before we say goodbye? We raise our mugs to the Rollist around the world.
Of
Mm.
course we can. Axel, something to say?
Bah, come join us on the Discord Cyberconf server, and come discover virtual tabletop RPG. It's really cool.
I put a link to everything CyberConf in the description of
Yes,
this in
nice.
YouTube,
Thank
or
you.
so people
That's nice.
have a
Thank you.
look. No
Thank you. Thank
problem.
you.
Solipsys, anything? That's it.
I will say, like Axel, please just have a look. Have a look at CyberConf. Just come and chill. Just discover some new games or new people, whatever. Just come and play with us. This will be a great moment. and a great event for everyone who like TTRPG or RPG or just chilling with friends. Just come in. You're welcome.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you very much to everyone who joined us and watched this.
You're welcome.
It should be
Thank you.
available on YouTube. The audio version will be available on Patreon for people supporting the show. I will be running, if people want to be on the show, feel free to send me a message if you want to tell me about your experience. No matter where you are in the world, I will be happy to have you on the show. I might be running again some Cats of Cthulhu if you want to play with me, so feel free to send me a tweet, email, or whatever you fancy. I might be running also some Damn the Man Save the Music by Make Big Things. It's about a group of misfits who are trying to save the record shop where they are working. It's kind of a fiasco sort of setting. Yeah, I've been in touch with the game designer. She's gonna send me assets for Roll20 when she saw me tweeting about that. So that's
cool.
that's
Nice.
super awesome from Anna Schaefer. And yeah, that's it. Check the regular show, the Rolistes podcast, and definitely do come to CyberConf. And if you do one thing, only one thing, at CyberConf, come check my own table ronde about how to do a podcast and stream.
Yeah.
And I will, not me, I won't be the one giving the answer. I will be asking the questions, and other people will tell us, you and me, how we can do it so we have less technical difficulties when we are streaming and the sound doesn't go off and this sort of thing. Thank you very much. Thanks
Yes.
again, Sollypsys and Axel,
Thank you
for
too.
joining, and thank you so much
Thanks to you.
to you and all the CyberConf team for the amazing amount of work you are putting.
Thanks to you, Callum. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers,
Goodbye.
bye.
Ciao, ciao.